Hello, Spirit House here. Listen, I wanted to share with you guys a beautiful ancestor message, a dream download that I received night before last, and I had to, meditate and pray on it for a while, and then, decipher it, the meanings of it. But some of them became very apparent right away, and I feel that it's one to share with the whole North Node collective and people that have been going through very trying times, over the last couple years or just recently, especially right now with all the planetary changes and the energies and, you know, there's dark forces that are really going at it hard, right now, towards light workers and chosen and, people that are working in their North Node. So I wanted to share this dream because it was so beautiful and inspiring. And I believe it was meant to share with everyone, who's been going through this. So at any rate, I had a dream and I was in this space, and it was like, part of it was like an outdoor kitchen, and it was on this huge, like on the side of a mountain, or a huge terraced, excuse me, huge terraced land. And I'm cooking in this a cast iron skillet, right? And and I see this beetle, this huge scarab. It's a giant black scarab. It's really big. And it comes up to me and looks at me while I'm cooking. And then it kind of goes off a little bit, and then it comes back and it looks at me, and then it goes off a little bit further, like it's trying to lead me away. Okay, so I follow it. And then after a little while, another scarab comes, and then another scarab comes with it. And so I thought, oh, I've got to go back to my cooking and turn off the oven, and then I'll come back and see what's going on, right? So I go to turn off the stove, and and my grandmother appears, who's passed away. And she is so excited and so like giddy, like a little kid. She's like, Heather, you have to come see. You have to come see. Come with me. And she grabs my hand. And even though she's like in her 90s, she's running like a child, right? Dragging me by the hand to come see this. Like it's a huge celebration. That's what was the feeling of this. And so I come to see, and there's this, it would look like a river. It was an army of scarabs, of these black scarabs, an army. And as far up the hill, there wasn't far up the hill, it was like north. We were up north, and they were headed southward down the terraced land, southward. And as far as I could see, it was like a river or an army of scarabs, right? And so I follow her, and she's running and dragging me, and she's so excited. And I come along with her, and I'm like, what? I'm all excited. And we come to a stop, and there's this like gathering, this cluster of parrots, right? And I don't believe it's the spiritual meaning of parrots in this case, because immediately when I woke up, I came to this, it was revealed to me. But these parrots had their normal colors at first, but then they started glitching out, and it's like a rainbow of colors, kind of like, a glitch, not, it wasn't even pixelated. It was just like a rainbow of colors kept traveling down them, like they were like a bad computer screen or something, right? It was a glitch in the matrix. And they finally vanished and disappeared. And I believe that, and then they went further, and I didn't follow any further, but my grandmother and I were standing there holding hands, and we were watching as they went further, and they just devoured these things, larger and larger, animals that were just glitching out, or they were just devoured by these scarabs. And, but it was like a beautiful, like wonderful, victorious, like feeling. And so I woke up, and I was just already feeling really good, because it was so wonderful to like see my grandmother and have that experience in my dream. But then, I started thinking about scarabs. Excuse me. Someone does not want me to get this message out every time I think about it or talk about it over the last 2 days, because I had this dream night before last. It's like my throat chakra starts. But the symbolizing the symbol of the parrots was immediately apparent to me, It is elites that try to hide in the shadows, and they're puppets. Parrots, they mock. It's the rumor mills that destroy lives. It's the rumor mills that they create to start wars. It's all these things, and it goes much deeper than just me personally being gang stalked and all that stuff. I mean, it's symbolic for the whole collective, but also for the whole world, I believe. And it's like they were removed and glitched out and just made obsolete. They were just obsolete, like an old computer program. They no longer existed. They went poof. And it's like the scarab, and it's also a shapeshifter thing because they were shapeshifting before they glitched out, and they were false, and they were spreading rumors, gossip, lies. They were false. They looked beautiful at first, but then the masks fell off, right? And so this is what definitely the symbolism of the parrots were. I didn't see what the animals that were disappearing, they weren't animals, but they were like shape-shifting objects off in the distance, because this river went on forever. And it was traveling from north to south, destroying everyone that continues to dwell in the south node and just try to destroy others' lives. That's what this symbolism to me was. It was like, just destroying dark forces. Okay, so that was really positive. But the spiritual meaning of scarabs is, it goes back to ancient Egypt, and then the Greeks adopted it and many other cultures. But it's basically spiritual. It represents spiritual transformation, rebirth, resurrection, and the power of the energy from the sun, which is chi, and Rho, which is on the cross of Constantine. If you want to look into that, also in history, and the giant sundial in the Vatican goes into that. But Chi Rho is what Cairo, Egypt, was named after. Okay, so that's significant. But Ra, it's the gods that it's connected to many gods. Scarabs are, but especially Ra, Kepri. Ra symbolizes rebirth, renewal, and I believe it's Christ consciousness as well, because it's a symbol of the sun, Christ consciousness. Kepri, creation of the sun and regeneration. Kepri was responsible for pushing the sun across the sky, in Egyptian mythology. And then Min, who was the male god of fertility and abundance and sexuality. And so that was the connection. That's the main three gods that it's connected to. It's also an important symbol of funerary rites, representing the heart of the deceased, placed in tombs as a sign of protection from the divine. Okay, but in dream meaning, it's a symbol of transformation and faith, and a symbolism that if we have faith and trust in ourselves and the universe, and we surrender to the universe, we can make positive changes in our life. It's also a sign of hope and optimism, encouraging us to keep going even when in our darkest times and when times are tough. And it's also another major thing about this is that the protection thing comes in huge here, because there was an army of scarabs, right? It was like a river. It looked like a river as far as I could see from the north to the south of these scarabs just stampeding, from north to south. So it's, it's also, let's see. I'm looking at my notes here of what I looked up, other than what I just knew already. It's a sign of personal transformation and dreams. It often relates to spiritual journey or growth and development of the soul. It's a sign of good luck and fortune, often in the form of blessing, and it's a huge sign of divine intervention. So that's huge too. So I just wanted to give you this little message, because it's always the darkest, before the light, and that was it was a very powerful, positive dream, and I believe it was for more than just myself, so I wanted to share that, and you can take what you want from it, but I just don't give up, keep going. A lot of us have been going through really rough times, and things are about to be made fair, and divine intervention, divine retribution, justice is coming, and there's an army of protection coming from your ancestral and spirit realm. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.